So today I'm sharing 5 lessons from the corporate world that I have extracted from my corporate career. These are literally 20 years of wisdom condensed in a short video. I wish somebody had sent me a video like that when I was starting out in my career. So this is why I'm doing it. I hope that if you have friends and family, sons and daughters, loved ones, parents who can benefit from this anywhere in the corporate world, share the video with them. It will mean the world to me. These are not competence, lessons. So what I'm assuming here is that you do have the necessary skill set to perform your job and to do it well. These are, universal truths that were valid, 100 years ago. They're certainly valid today, and they will be valid 100 years from today, regardless of how quickly AI develops. Even more so, they will become even more important in 100 years than they are today, simply because emotional intelligence, or EQ, will be critically important as technology develops. Okay, so welcome to the channel. If you're new to it, welcome. I love having you here. My name is Ellie. Just a brief introduction. So I'm a mom, and I also am a full-time corporate worker. I have been in the corporate world for over 20 years. I have worked across various sectors, from aviation and technology, software, outsourcing, customer service, information technology, investment banking, loyalty. I've done a lot, mainly out of the UK, but I've traveled all over the world with my work. And I guess these lessons are universal in that I have seen them when they're applied. I have seen how they've supercharged people's career, and when they're not applied, you really hit a ceiling and you can't move forward. So yes, thank you so much for being with us. Let's dive in. There's no gimmicks, there's no editing. I speak the truth in terms of what I have learned, and I hope that's useful to you. So, in ascending order of importance today, lesson number 1. Do not attach yourself to one leader. And what I mean by that is generally we have, one direct reporting line that's on a certain diagram is in bold, and we might have a dotted, like a second reporting line, which is a dotted line into somebody else. But we're so swamped at work, and we tend to have just one reporting line. We're so busy executing that we don't have time or the mental capacity to actually raise our heads about the general workload that we're doing and just think about what it is that I need to do to get from where I am today to where I want to be in 2 years' time. We just don't have the mental capacity, and I see it with all my colleagues, and I see it with all my friends. So what are the consequences of that? When we attach ourselves to one leader, consequence number 1 is this: we're putting the success of our career in one person's hands. Whose perspective will it matter? Whose opinion will it matter when the next promotion comes up? Is that one person. So it's their only perspective of you that matters, that will influence how your career will shape up in the medium term. And consequence number 2 is you really are limiting yourself and any potential future growth for your career path by attaching yourself to one leader. Because why? Think about it. You're performing your job really well. You are kicking it. You're kicking ass. You're excelling at it. But is your boss incentivized to promote you? Absolutely not. You make them feel good because you're doing your job really well. So they have zero incentive to promote you. Lesson number 1, very important. Do not attach ourselves to one leader internally. Okay. Lesson number 2, network, network, network. Network internally from the moment that you start a new job until your very last day in that job. Build your internal network space, and that literally goes in 3 ways, right? In 3 basic ways. So you have your peers, so the people that are at the same level as you are internally within the organization. Then you're going to network down. You're going to network with the people who are reporting into you, and then you're going to network up. You're going to very important. You're going to network upwards. You're going to network with your boss. You're going to network with your boss's colleagues and peers. So the network is like this. So you network on the same level as you. You're going to network down, and then you're going to network up. And that's critically important, because what does that do? That literally what we need to establish is a 360 visibility internally so that we can establish ourselves as a star performer. so that you're seen from everywhere, from down, from up, and from the same level horizontally as you, so that we can establish ourselves as a star performer. Now, lesson number 3 is a little bit linked to lesson number 2, but it makes lesson number 2 even more important to network internally. So lesson number 3 is form allies. You need to create a so-called internal protective bubble for yourself, let's call it like this, within any organization that you work with. Regardless of the shape, size, industry, it doesn't matter. You need an internal protective bubble internally, and your allies will do that for you. So these people, your allies are people who have your back in meetings and in rooms that you're not invited to. And what are they going to do for you? They're going to do 2 things. They're going to have your back. And number 2, they're going to give you information and insight. And what are you going to do with that information is critical. But if you don't have the information, how do you know what's happening internally? How do you know what's happening internally within the organization? And the bigger the organization, the more difficult it is to know everything that's happening. Actually, the bigger the organization, the more difficult it is to find out exactly what is happening internally. So your allies internally are going to do exactly that for you. They're going to have your back in whatever room they're in. And number 2, they're going to feed you priceless information. Excuse the cliche, but the information that you do not have and that you do not possess is gold. This information is gold. Because then once you have it, once you've been fed that information, you're going to decide, do I want to stay in this team? Or do I actually want to move to that exciting new, department that is being set up? Or do I want to ask and move to our Singapore office? Or actually now I found out that, so-and-so is setting up a new team. I want to be that person's right hand. But if you don't have that information, you cannot even apply for the job. You cannot even, go and have coffee with that person so that you can, supercharge your career or move, to a point where you want to be. So lesson number 1, a quick summary. Do not attach yourself to your leader. Lesson number 2, network. Network at all levels within the organization to create a 360 internal visibility for yourself and establish yourself as a star performer. Lesson number 3, form allies. As soon as you can, form allies. These are your friends. They have your back. Now, lesson number 4 goes, I guess, against the corporate world. But my goodness, trust me, this is probably one of the most important ones of them all. Trust your gut feeling. This is lesson number 4. Trust your gut feeling. How shall I put this? Okay, let's put it simply. If someone or something feels off, then know that that is not right for you. Okay? If there's doubt, the answer is no. Very, very important. Our gut is our second brain, and your body knows the answer for you before your mind admits it or wants to admit it. Let me say that again. Your body knows the answer or what's right or wrong for you before your logical mind cares to admit the truth to your mind, to yourself, right? To your ego. Trust your gut feeling. I'll give you an example. So 3 years ago, I was up for a promotion. It was September. I had the call and I took the promotion. The moment we hung up on Zoom, I knew that that was a mistake. I knew it. Deep down, I knew it. I knew it in my gut. Fast forward 2 years, I knew that that was a mistake with my mind, but I didn't do anything about it. I didn't do anything about it on that September morning when we had the call and I took up the promotion. Why didn't I do it? Out of greed, because I'm ambitious and I wanted it, and because I wanted more visibility internally, and it looked like an amazing opportunity, right? So please trust your gut feeling. Your body knows before your mind knows it. Okay, lesson number 5. This is going to sound negative, but it really isn't. Lesson number 5 is corporate leaders do not care about you. Corporate leaders do not care about the person. I've read a lot of, culture statements. I've been around for a long time. But trust me, when it comes down to results, corporate leaders do not care about you as a person. Because think about it, that's the name of the game. What do corporate leaders care about? We care about results. We care about delivery. We care about providing goods and services to our clients and doing it exceptionally well. So the moment that you stop performing your duties to a certain standard is the moment when your clock starts kicking. The time is up. Yeah? And don't ever take this personally. But okay, let's think about sales. So if you're in a sales position and you're liked in a sales position simply because you're closing deals for your particular business. You're very liked because you're bringing in millions of money in terms of closed deals. The moment that you stop bringing closed deals and you stop, bringing value to the business, you're going to be disliked very quickly. Don't take that personally. That's the name of the game. And, that doesn't apply to, the mid-level executives. That literally applies to absolutely everybody internally. So it applies to me, it applies to my boss, it applies to the CEO, because the CEO also has a boss, the investors. In any corporate setting, it doesn't need to be a listed business. It could be a startup. Everybody has a boss, right? So that's just the nature of business. And my bonus one for you, which is the most important one today, is this. This is my bonus one. So listen up. Do not attach all of your self-worth to your performance at work. Because the moment that things go south, and trust me, inevitably at some stage of your career, things will go south. You want to dissociate the two. So do not attach your self-worth to your work performance. Do not attach your self-esteem to your work performance. Because the moment that you're going to leave the business for whatever reason and things have not worked out, you're going to crash. Don't let that happen. Do this. Separate the two. Know this truth. You can never attach your self-worth to your work performance. You must separate the two. If you do that, if you do this one simple thing, you will thrive both personally and professionally in the long term. I hope you found this valuable. These are my 5 truths, and they have worked well for me over the last 20 years. Let me know in the comments what you thought, what has worked, what hasn't worked. Do you agree, do you disagree? I really don't mind. I want to learn from everybody, and I hope that some people learn from me. So send me a comment, I'll reply to every single one of them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.